Today on the Topping Show, the comment section without Brett Cooper seems to be buying bots, as we have some suspicious comments and I dive deep into who is making them. USAID spent $159 million making schools in Pakistan, but they mostly look like they're in rubbles. You also have USAID spending money on supporting mainstream media and attacking conservatives. Mercedes is discounting their EVs by $15,000 as the demand for the EVs plummet. A 1983 Honda three-wheeler in the crate sells for $200,000. And Jeep owners are annoyed to have pop-up ads on their infotainment, reminding them to get an extended warranty. All of that, much more on The Topping Show. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and service company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free Flamethrower with every IT purchase. Yes, it does come with a fun Picatinny rail adapter, so it can mount it to any standard AR-15 like all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the Flamethrower button to learn more, or click the URL in the video description below. Lastly, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part podcast, you have Mercedes EVs being discounted as much as $15,000 because no one's really buying them, and they're starting to collect more and more dust on dealer lots. Now, this comes with thanks to Adam, who's a writer at thedrive.com, and I'm sorry, I should give you a visual disclaimer. Here you'll see the Mercedes EV sedan, which it doesn't look great. It's almost like something you'd see from an AI generated image on X, or what's another popular one? ChatGPT. It almost looks unreal, and not in a good way. Now, again, this is credited to Adam Ismail, who's a writer there. He says, quote, Mercedes EVs are getting up to $15,000 off because no one is buying them. Mercedes EV line suffered a rough 2024, which resulted in five-figure discounts for the EQE and EQS, which I normally roast these auto manufacturers who don't bother to have the creativity to make a product name. They just have, random letters and numbers. In this case, at least the E, if you have no knowledge of Mercedes, you could surmise that the E stands for electric. So I suppose they at least did one thing right with these funny acronyms for these vehicles. Now, diving into the substance of the article, they say, quote, Mercedes-Benz currently sells 5 different EVs in the United States, excluding AMG variants, which, what a bastardization. An AMG used to be a independent third party with brilliant creative engineers and some might say artists who would handcraft glorious V8s for Mercedes. And yeah, now they're making EVs in my box with the new EQS SUV. This is arguably too many, particularly when you consider how little interest shoppers had in them last year. Sales for the EQB, EQE, and EQS, for a second I thought there was a rap song in there, all across all body styles fell by 36%, 39%, and a staggering 52% respectively in 2024 compared to 2023. On the other hand, Mercedes' state-of-the-art plug-in hybrids have shown a promising debut. Debatably, you can only guess it's for the reason the automaker is pushing significant discounts on its higher-end EVs, including $15,000 on the EQS AMG. And here you can see one of those ridiculous-looking crossovers, which I don't know why the grille really annoys me. It looks so weird. So obviously for an EV, you don't need a traditional grille. You don't have a radiator in that regard. But it looks like they literally just almost like pasted on a graphic or a sticker that makes it look like it, and to emulate that old design. And again, not in a good way. And they say, quote, a range of promotions was communicated to dealers earlier last week per Car Direct, touching at almost every trim level of the EQS sedan, the EQS 580 SUV, and every AMG and Maybach model, even the Mercedes Maybach EQS 680 SUV. Jesus, talk about a long and cumbersome name. The name of the product is Mercedes Maybach EQS 680. I guess SUV is a delineation, but geez, that's just comical. They say is included with this initiative, as Mercedes is lopping $10,005 off its glitzy electric SUVs. Oh, this is probably a contributing factor why no one is buying these damn things. The list price for an EV Mercedes SUV, $181,050 before extortion. I mean, taxes. Imagine, I believe Texas is a 6.25% registration fee on top of that. Jeez Louise. $181,000 for an EV SUV, which, let's be honest, with the current technology we have and infrastructure, is just a disposable toy. I mean, this won't last more than 10 plus years. Once that battery goes, that's a majority value of the vehicle. And good luck having long-term support from the manufacturer perspective. Just like, do you know any of your friends using an Apple iPhone that's more than 5 years old? Yeah, alone 10 years or 15 years old? Yeah, I didn't think so, unfortunately. That's a good house, $181,000. It blows my mind how much people are spending on these disposable things. As far as the attainable model, well, relatively attainable, they say, the EQS 450 4MATIC sedan gets a $13,500 reduction to its $108,550 MSRP. The same savings apply to the pricier EQS 580 version. The EQS 580 SUV, which starts at $128,500, also sees $10,005 off. No normal EQE in either silhouette is included in the numbers game here, but the $108,550 AMG EQS sedan receives a $10,000 price cut, while the $110,750 AMG EQE SUV gets $8,000 off. That brings us to the $148,700 EQS AMG sedan, which enjoyed the largest MSRP slash of any of these cars at $15,000. Jeez Louise. They say none of these savings quite compared to the record of $50,000 off for the Audi RS e-tron GT, that ended around 2023, which, yeah, that is just ridiculous. And yeah, even with these quote unquote big discounts, which again, $15,000 discount, I mean, shoot, $15,000 gets you a nice Honda Civic Si with a stick shift, and that'll last like decades versus these, which will last maybe a couple of years. But yeah, Mercedes, again, they're getting pretty desperate to push these apparently. Most of the comments in the bottom here are saying how these look like and feel like $60,000 to $70,000 cars, which, anecdotally speaking, I don't have much evidence. I've not been in a Mercedes. How many decades has it been? I did drive one once in my life as a fun little red Mercedes. That was, what was that, 2013? No, 12-ish? It's been quite some time. I've seen them on the roads. But yeah, I can't fathom paying a house for a disposable car. Don't get me wrong, a nice Porsche 911 GT4 RS or whatever, GT3 RS, the higher end of Porsche's 911, while I don't have, well, fiscally I couldn't, but in terms of like, I could understand the justification for those vehicles because, well, Porsche 911s and Cayman, the higher ones, again, they're going to lose money, don't get me wrong, depreciate, but don't depreciate like a rock. And you see, I say old relative, but I mean, you see a lot of 20, 30, 40-year-old Porsche 911s still on the road, pretty darn reliable and robust, especially compared to the competition, McLaren. But like, I can't imagine spending almost $200,000 for an EV Mercedes. That's insane. So even with these discounts, I mean, I can't help but think this is still not enough to push the parameter enough for someone to buy it. But they're making moves and trying to push this product. But I don't see this really dramatically increasing sales. But let me know your thoughts. I mean, do you think this will move any units? And do you know anyone, like, I know with my circle of friends, the clients, acquaintances, and I mean, I want to say I know at least one person that has like a vehicle from every major manufacturer and many variants. And I got some friends with EVs, but I don't know anyone with an EV from Mercedes. But I just can't contemplate spending that much money on an EV. But let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting business news: a 1986 Honda three-wheeler new in the crate sells for $200,000, which is quite a pretty penny to say the least, and also shows the power and the tantamount importance of nostalgia. Perhaps I'll do some type of special edition of this show where I zoom out of the camera so you can see my bookshelf to be my left. Well, I have some vintage, Nintendo 64 in the original manufacturer box, and good old it was an NES. Still need to get the Super Nintendo. But yeah, fun tales for how I got those as well. Let me know if that'd be something of interest in the comments. But yeah, needless to say, nostalgia sells, and it is kind of funny how more often than not, the box is worth more than the product in and of itself with a lot of collectibles. Now, this comes with thanks to Brian Hurd at thedrive.com, in which they say, quote, Holy Grail 1986 Honda three-wheeler still in the crate sells for $200,000, which, oh my God, this a house on what was like a cheap farm toy or, cheap, three-wheeler. But again, the power of nostalgia and shoot, I mean, it's a Honda. I mean, it'll probably still fire up just like that, and that'll probably outlast most of us because it's a Honda with a gas engine. Now they say, quote, turns out it's not just automotive barn finds that command big bucks, as two-stroke nostalgia is as strong as ever. And you know me, I love collecting signs, especially defunct businesses. Still looking for a Circuit City sign. It's been 10 plus years, not a drop of luck. But yeah, it is cool. They have the old Honda dealership sign in the background of the picture behind this, crate three-wheeler. Man, those are getting harder to find and kind of funny. They actually cost more than a Honda in some cases. Now, this is specifically credited to, again, Brian Hurd, who's a writer over there. He says, quote, a collection of Honda all-terrain cycles that included a still created 1986 ATC 250R was offered up for sale by a mystery owner in New York and quickly snapped up by customers with deep pockets. The collection was on co-assignment with DNA Restorations based out of Louisiana and sold in just days after plenty of buzz in the vintage off-road and ATV community. Three-wheeler that never left the botch fetched a unheard of $200,000 all in, which, again, some of that is, a lot of these auctions is a little, I don't want to say, not mysterious. It's a little skewed because, again, you have to remember there's usually auction fees and all that kind of stuff. So this is apparently that price all in. So maybe they bid up to $175,000. Still an astronomical amount of money, to say the least. And it's kind of cool. They did put a little clear, looks like acrylic case around. Because again, the box from the factory is probably just most likely cardboard, I would guess. And you can see the cool Honda logo right on it right there. It looks like they have one that's actually pictured outside of the box. Let's see. Make these pictures a little bit bigger on the screen here. Yeah, who would have thought that was... Oh, come on, the Facebook wants me to log in. Dang you, Mark Zuckerberg. You know what? Just for that, we're going to leave the Facebook. We'll just read from thedrive.com. We don't need to zoom on the pictures today, Mark. Now, yeah, that's look pretty cool, little off-roader. I say, quote, according to Travis Glitzkar, who recently shared the update on behalf of DNA, the 1986 ATC 250R was prompted, the lot prompted the offer that exclusively ended bidding right there and then. The lot was described in the original listing as, quote, the Holy Grail, and it's clear that the DNA wasn't overselling it much. $200,000 is still enough to buy you a house in many parts in the USA. Honda's trike was the golden standard for performance three-wheelers during the early 80s. Despite its age, it's still regarded as the significant defining all-terrain vehicle. Which, again, this is not my forte or expertise in terms of automobile history, but I'm pretty sure this was also one of the versions that they got banned by U.S. government regulations in the nanny state because too many people were getting hurt on them. So I think that also is one of the reasons it's more of a collectible. Now they say, quote, in the case of $200,000, got this lucky buyer a new in box, 1986 ATC. The 146cc two-stroke made a whopping 38 horsepower and 29 foot-pound torque. Finally, a vehicle in which my Honda Civic looks strong in comparison to. Got 205 horsepower. Well, maybe 206 because I have the K&N cold air intake with the sticker on the window. That's at least 10 horsepower. They told that to me on Reddit. They don't lie there. Now, they say that's about half of the power of a typical economy car in the 1980s, and it's something with a curb weight of barely 300 pounds. For their sake, we hope our rich mystery buyer wears a helmet. Now, they say that the 1985 to 1986 models are especially desirable because they represent the pinnacle in design and performance of the original ATC 250R. This was already Honda's third design for the trike, which had launched in 1981. If the comments about this post embedded are to be believed, this example was not entirely pristine, having acquired some patina over the nearly 40 years in storage, which, yeah, made sense. Especially this is one of those things that probably just threw it into storage and forgot about it. It's probably not the best climate-controlled example or anything like that. Now, they say a barn find is a barn find, whether you're talking about a never-restored Camaro or never opened Honda trike, both apparently can fetch the same money. While the market for the latter may seem smaller, it clearly exists, which, yeah, exactly. That's one of the things where it is fascinating how much more something is. I mean, if this wasn't in the box, maybe 10, 20, 30 grand. Like the power of new old stock or like the allure of something that's brand new, it is amazing. I think a lot of it is just people want to buy back their childhood. They want to buy a piece of history, a little bit of that. I mean, you see Nintendo 64 is just complete in box. I mean, those usually go for a few $100s, but if you want one that is factory sealed, add another 0 or 2 on top of that. I mean, the multiplier is just that astronomical because, again, it's one of those things where there are fewer and fewer examples of these out there, and that just drives up the price, age old, supply and demand, that type of thing. And it's interesting to see. I mean, it's one of those categories you don't think about because, again, relative to the automobile and car, side of collectability, this is a much smaller market, but still very impressive. A huge auction. Again, $200,000 for a trike. I mean, geez Louise, yeah, there's no way I would ever pay that much money for it. I mean, that literally is a nice house in Iowa or a very, very small shack in Texas, which hopefully they'll make more houses someday and I'll be able to buy one before I die. But yeah, let's just say I was still shocked I got $200,000 for it. And let me know. I mean, shoot, another reason to check your family barn or shed. Who knows what might be in there. You might be able to buy a house on what you find. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because, as always, be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the cultural part podcast, yeah, the comments section without Brett Cooper might be, maybe they are buying bots, as the nice comments I examined seem shadier and shadier with accounts that are created as recently as like, yeah, a day before it's posted or the day of being posted. And interestingly enough, they're all very attractive women, which that is probably the core demographic of the average person who watches the comments section now without Brett Cooper. But these don't look like real people, so to say. Now, first, I'm going to pull up one of the most recent uploads from the comment section. Where you have Reagan talking about the huge win for women, or Donald Trump actually protected women thanks to him passing executive order to ban biological men from actually competing with women, which also shows the cultural demise of the United States in terms of the lunacy of thinking, oh yeah, it'll be okay. Let's allow men to compete in women's sports. Yeah, women not only have literally their opportunities stolen from them, not just, scholarly and fiscally speaking, but a lot of them also suffered physical damages in terms of personal injury because of it. So again, promises made, promises kept. Trump delivered on that in spades, so to say. Now, going here the comment section here. Let's see what she has to say real quick. Maybe the Daily Wire is fine letting her be her own person. She's not going to copy mimic Brett Cooper. She's going to be very unique. Oh no, wait, the background is still the same. Dude, it's just a $1 billion valuation company. And they can't spend $30 to go to IKEA or some store and make it more personal for her in the background. Or have her just bring her own stuff from home, like to have little artifacts and knickknacks behind there. Really? But I partially digress. Maybe she will surprise us all.
On another episode of the comment section, I'm Reagan Conrad, and today it is a good day to be a woman. With the swipe of a pen, it is official. There will be no more men competing in women's sports. On National Girls and Women's Sports Day, Trump signed an executive order officially declaring that women's sports will be protected under Title IX properly. And this has been a long time.
Nope. Still the same copy Brett, which, again, not sure what kind of contract they had with Brett Cooper in terms of using her likeness, but I mean, with AI these days, they probably could just put Brett Cooper's face on top of Reagan's, and most people wouldn't tell the difference with the hand gestures, the voice tonation, the voice patterns. It is bizarre to say the least, but again, there's still an audience for that. 2,000 people liked her video. Not to brag, but I got 3 people to like my video last week, I believe. That was one of my top ones. But nevertheless, now dive in the comments and, oh, geez Louise, the views are crashing. She got under 25,000 views in the first 24 hours, while Brett Cooper gets about 1 to 2 million views in the first 24 hours of her uploading video. Yeah, probably should have kept her on payroll, but nevertheless, dive in the comments. Interestingly enough, some positive ones are starting to brew to the surface here. Now, one of the first ones, interesting. I think this is one of the first ones I believe I flag as sus, as you might say. Let me see here. Double check here. Ah, yes. So one of the first positive comments, and this got 177 likes, which is quite a few to say the least. This comes from allegedly Carrie Hart, which already is an unusual name to say the least. Almost as ridiculous as a name like Topping. Oh wait, but I partially digress. Alleged Carrie Hart says, quote, "The fact that this was even a debate to begin with is wild to me. Women deserve to celebrate this because it's been frustrating watching all this unfold. Riley is truly a hero." Significantly, or relating to, or rather bringing up Riley Gaines, who's a famous swimmer who was one of the biggest advocates for protecting women in female sports. When she had her opportunity stolen away from her, when you had Leah Thomas, who's went from being the 450th best swimmer in the male category to number 1 in the female category, miraculously. Strange how that happened. Almost as if there's a biological advantage built in. But now this comment, again, I agree with the comment. It makes sense, but how isn't unusual. Go to her profile. She's got 1 subscriber, which, again, not everyone with a YouTube profile is a creator. I understand that. She has no content there. Okay. Again, not everyone goes on the YouTube to make content. A lot of them just go to watch and comment, like, and subscribe, like you should for this video. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments what I could do better. Now, look at her profile. She joined about a year ago, but not a lot of other activity. Now, scrolling down more and more, one of the other channels I thought was, as you may say, sus, was Susan Stretch. Let me find that comment really here. I apologize, I had the screenshots of these comments, but let's see, I think that's on my other computer. But all the top comments, unless it should be here. I have that bookmarked on the other pages, but I want to try to see the comments in here really quick. A lot of the comments simply say, I miss Brett, which, yeah, a lot of them do. Where is it? Now it's like a scavenger hunt. Got a lot of people say Ronald Gaze is a national hero, which agree. Let's see. Pulling up here. So Mira. Yeah, Mira was the first one. Let's see here. So I'll go to Mira. Let me see. Rolling down more and more. They found 3 to 4 profiles that were created within basically 24 hours. And they have like affiliate links. Basically, they're, what's a nice way of saying this? Creative pages. And some of them just look like straight up bots. Let's see here. Is it Rebecca? Is this Rebecca? Rebecca Breeze? Let's see. There we go. Her name is allegedly Mira Sharamuva, which, interesting. Now, first red flag in terms of a fake profile is an attractive woman, which, on average, statistically speaking, on YouTube, mostly men who watch, though, again, for her channel, probably just skew more female. But on average, YouTubers are, or rather, people tuning into YouTube, mostly men. Now, she is a very attractive woman, another red flag as well, and she says, quote, really appreciate the effort put into this. So, again, a very bland comment that can apply to pretty much every video on the YouTube, even mine, debatably, and it's got 57 upvotes. I mean, a lot of people really like that comment. Now, go to her profile of Mira Sharamova. Well, she has subscribers. Her profile simply says, hey, handsome, want to get to know me? Let's chat. Contact me. And a lot of these suspicious comments, the profiles all have the very similar to URL, and it's called tinyurl.com, my links. It's also created January 22nd, 2024. So again, the profile's been around for a while. Now, another one that looks sus would be, again, Susan Stretch. Again, another attractive woman in the profile picture. And she says the same thing. Hey, handsome, if you want to talk, contact me. Again, the same URL is tinyurl.com. And again, another newer profile. And just trying to scroll more and more to find the comments they made in the actual video. And perhaps I will simply try to do it post-production. Now, another one was actually deleted. So I don't know what happened to her profile. It was another generic, great video, or, great, appreciate your effort, Reagan. Another generic comment. And now the profile is actually gone. Which that one, was it Nora Sullivan that got? And then another one was from, what's this? Check Bio. That's the profile name, Check Bio. And literally it says, check channel below. Oh, how eloquent. So again, there's a 0% chance it's a Daily Wire subscriber. Their banner on this profile says, want to F with me. Which, again, the Daily Wire is a very popular conservative platform. So, someone of this occupation is most likely not a fan. And also it says the same thing, check out the channel below. And it shares a profile it was created the day that the video was uploaded for Reagan. And it says, check this out. Okay, there's another profile connected to it. She's got appropriately 69 subscribers, no content. And again, the profile was created the day of the upload of Reagan. So again, this is 5 or 6 gals. Well, okay, they're most likely bots, they're not real ladies on the platform. But yeah, I just scroll down more and more, and a lot of the positive ones have that, again, it's really weird, the tinyurl.com. Let me know in the comments if you ever heard that, tinyurl.com. Yeah, I was going to say, that's got to be the #1 red flag of all time. Attractive gal on YouTube saying, hey, handsome. Yeah. I had that same issue on the Twitter when Elon first took over his big increase in bots. I couldn't help but notice I got like 20 new followers in a single day. And they're all attractive ladies saying, hey, handsome. I know the cards I was dealt in life. I don't hear that often. That might be, yeah, that one week I get 20 messages saying, hey, handsome on Twitter or X. Cumulatively, that's more than I've gotten probably in my life, statistically speaking. So obviously, a scam. Bots. So let me know. I'll bring up maybe post-production. I'll actually include the screenshots of the specific comments of the ones that we could not find live. Well, not live, but as recording here today. But yeah, it was all generic or relatively like positive comments. They all were the very similar fake-looking profiles. Now, that being said, some of these are real. Don't get me wrong. If you look at some of the top comments that got some ups and likes, again, you look at the profile, they've been around for 2+ years. It's a real person's face. They don't have associated like URL links to the creative websites. Like, they are real, don't get me wrong. But it is interesting that, 5 to 6 of these all seem to be fake. But let me know in the comments. I've debated if I want to do more analytics and, dive into more videos. This is just one of the more recent ones that Reagan did upload on the comment section. And let me know, do you think, again, there's always spam on platforms organically. Something just pops up. But this seems to be a lot of them. And again, it's not the traditional, like, hey, buy Bitcoin or, buy whatever coin, meme coin they're spelling out these days. They seem to be slightly targeted bot ads because, again, they're trying to make the video positive, giving it positive accolades. So I thought that was a little bit more unique than usual. But let me know your thoughts in the comments because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have USAID spent $159 million on what they call, quote unquote, climate resilient schools in Pakistan. But they look mostly like shacks. And one begs the question, how did it cost so much and where did the money go? Probably into pockets, I would venture to say. Now, this comes to us thanks to End Wokeness on X, in which he says, quote, USAID spent $159 million of our taxes to build 106 climate-resilient schools in Singh, which is an area in Pakistan. And this is the result. And there you have a gentleman over there. I'll translate.
प्राइमरी स्कूल ये यूएस की इमदाद से बनने वाला स्कूल है यानी इसके अंदर सिंध गवर्नमेंट के पास इंटरनेशनल इमदाद के बाद.
So he's saying this is a school that was built after the assistance of the international community to Singh government.
ये स्कूल बनाया गया. इस स्कूल की सूरत-ए-हाल.
He says, let me see here. He said, to the Singh government, look at the situation of the school. School which claims that within Singh, they have made a lot of progress. I just started visiting, and this is what the situation is. Tata district. Very close to Karachi. That is the school. These are desks kept in it. There are desks. Wait, he said, how many is that? He said there's 25,000 of these desks are the tax that the Singh government had kept, taken the walls of the schools, torn the window, it's not plastered. So this is the teacher's table. This is the teacher's table. Redundant.
तो ये आप देख सकते हैं कि ये सिंध गवर्नमेंट की तालीमी फर्श दिखाएं इनको ये फर्श है.
Say the Singh government at this time to show them the education floor of the Singh government, and it looks like it's dirt.
ये अस्तबल
This table.
इसमें घोड़े और भैंसे
Saying horses?
जमीन
Really?
पर रखी जाती हैं. इसी तरह यहाँ स्कूल के बच्चे.
Are you saying this was recently housing oxes and horses?
इसी तरह यहाँ स्कूल के
On the raw
बच्चों को
ground.
आप देख सकते हैं ये सिंध
Here are
के
school
बच्चे
children.
हैं हमारे.
See the children of Singh.
ये सरकारी
The government resources. These are government resources. These are being wasted.
ये देखें जी ये इस वक्त
Says, look at it. Look at this time we
ये
are
ताला
opening
खोल
this.
रहे हैं सरकारी स्कूल का ये ताला था सरकारी स्कूल
This is the lock that the government gave us, and literally just a strand of barbed wire or just a rudimentary rope. Not that there's anything wrong with rope. I'm sure it's strong, but, you know, spending over $100 million, one would think it'd be a nice metallic lock.
पे लगा हुआ
Ideally, maybe made in America, boost our economy too, but perhaps I'm foolishly optimistic to think that the government would actually want to, you know, do that.
और आई
And you debate it's not really boosting the economy because it's stealing our tax dollars, but I digress. He said, school, and let's see, this is a government.
ये देखें ये सरकारी स्कूल है ये
It's a government school. Children have been holidayed. This roof has collapsed. The government that is going to able over Karachi, adjacent to Karachi, the situation within Tata, within the first district, is currently, let's say, sorry, this is furniture. Here you can see
आप ये देख सकते हैं कि ये फर्नीचर है
furniture.
ये दिखाएं भाई इनको
Show it, brother.
ये डेस्क शायद
This is one desk.
खरीदी गई है 25
This one desk had probably been bought for $25,000. This is a lot of discussion on the media. Which, yeah, it looks rudimentary to say the least. It makes IKEA furniture look of high quality. Just saying something because that's mostly disposable, which is why I make my own furniture, but that's just me. And yeah, our tax dollars, $159 million for our schools, for our tax dollars to build 106 climate-resistant schools in Pakistan. And that was the result. Now, again, that's just one of the examples. Maybe the other examples are all paved in gold with nice marble floors and great, you know, maybe got all the nice accessories. Probably not, but yeah, our tax dollars. Well, we have some schools that are falling apart and kids that could really use help. We are spending $159 million on schools across the continent. Interesting resource allocation to the U.S. government. It would be pretty depressing to see of every dollar we give to the government in taxes, how many pennies actually come back to us in terms of benefiting us directly. Again, I'm not against humanitarian effort per se. I can't but think we're $36.5 trillion in debt. We should probably take care of our own house first, and then maybe help our allies and strategic business partners, perhaps countries that we have a lot of shared values and relations. If you could argue even then, if we should, you know, put our resource allocation to ourselves first. $159 million for that. Jeez. And again, you could, I mean, yeah, a lot of it just like, it looks like used low quality furniture. And for the cost of labor, again, that varies across the globe. I mean, you should be able to make some really nice schools with the money we're giving them. Now, one of the first comments comes from Paul Zupa saying, quote, how does this promote America's interests? Getting 108 likes. It's a good question. Doesn't. AKA simply says ridiculous, getting 120 likes. Ernesto has a picture of the White House and it says Doge, Democrats officially getting exposed, getting 473 likes, which, yep, I guarantee you not more than 3 Americans realized, oh yeah, we spent almost $200 million on schools that our children will never benefit from directly. Scrolling down more and more, Andrew Hart says, quote, 100 years of income stolen from 100 Americans to fund this. 100 years of income stolen from 100, I figure I mean 100 million Americans to fund this. It's more than 100 taxpayers, I'll tell you that much. It's sickening. I hope Doge will permanently change the federal government money laundering. They should spend the money using traceable crypto. No more laundering behind closed doors. Getting 125 likes. Yeah, never forget, also when it comes to our own government spending, the U.S. Pentagon, they've never passed a budget. Never. One year they misplaced like $2 trillion before 9/11. Yeah, $2 trillion. Yeah, we can't find it. Jesus. Yeah, if we underpay our taxes, you have the IRS with guns that'll come after us. And they charge interest. Jaded Shallow says, quote, this is exactly why every American needs to see. We need to see videos and pictures of what we are funding everywhere. Schools, roads, hospitals, etc. Every project USA spent our money on, media should get video of it. That should be a true audit. Getting 223 likes, and I can't agree more. Couldn't agree more, rather. Whatever vernacular is the saying. Sean Farash says, quote, what a waste of money. I can't wait to see who got the biggest kickbacks from this one, getting 287 likes. Yeah, that'd be a good question. Three-sided story says, quote, so basically 159 million got pocketed by a bunch of crooks, getting 1.1 thousand likes, which, yeah, I mean, let's just say I didn't see any Made in America or asset tags from any of the materials there. Molly Pitcher says, quote, I'm sick of all the corruption with USAID, and says, F the Dems and the dead donkey. Oh, geez, I'll try to keep this moderately family appropriate and not make that joke. Let's see here. We also have Engineering Ubidia saying, quote, USAID in Kenya purchased this high-end vehicles worth $100,000 each, totally wastage of funds. They better be bullet resistant because that's a Toyota SUV. And don't get me wrong, Toyota makes some of the best bulletproof vehicles in the industry, bar none. But yeah, $100,000 per SUV. Yeah, I was gonna say, if it's not bullet resistant or yeah, that's a ripoff. 95 likes though. Liberty Pill Memes says, quote, nothing to see here. And you see some terrorist, and they're standing inside a tent in which you do have the branding of USAID, but yeah, reminds me of the age-old saying, there's no such thing as bad marketing. Well, or let's just say, yeah, there is. Because, a picture is worth a million words. In this case, probably a couple million tax dollars as well. That got 898 likes. It has a terrorist with a camouflage uniform and one with a RPG, which unfortunately is prohibited. You can get them in the US, but it's very expensive and complex. Ridiculousness. Let's see here. Any contrarian notes? Let's see here. Gina Jill says, quote, whereas Democrat activist Olivia Giuliana is threatening to go on a hunger strike until USAID is restored, which let's just say she could probably go on that strike for a couple years because she's a big gal. And I'm not even joking that much. You actually have instances where people go on diets when they're majorly obese. And because of the fat reserves, again, not health advice, but they have instances where like they'll do like a liquid diet or just like a water diet and with basic nutrients. And yeah, they could last quite a long time. Let's just say if she's lost on a remote island, she'd have she wouldn't have to worry about food too much. Now that did get 190 likes. Let's see. Brian Kennedy gets the A+ for the meme of the day, perhaps. Says, quote, yeah, that money might have gone elsewhere, don't you think? Clandestine ops anyone? And I forget, I should know this movie by now. It's a movie in which the main protagonist has a pair of sunglasses, and every time he puts the sunglasses on, you can see, the reality, and then you can see the aliens, which, let me know in the comments. It's at the tip of my tongue. But yeah, he's looking at the USAID logo, and they, glasses on and off, and then it changes to US CIA. Yep. Got 424 likes. So yeah, more corruption being exposed thanks to Elon Musk and Doge, and I can't help but think, yeah, it's going to be the first of many instances in which we see corruption and or improper usage of U.S. funds. But let me know in the comments your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have the U.S. government spending money to buy mainstream media and attack conservatives online. What is this, conspiracy theory 9,758,345,003? That's been proven right. Fascinating to see time and time again being proven right. Now, this comes to us thanks to Libs of TikTok, in which she says, quote, wait, you're telling me that my own tax dollars funded hit pieces against me? And here you can see an old article from Associated Press, in which it says, quote, Rashi's Libs of TikTok account on X frequently features anti-trans posts and clips of public school teachers aimed at generating right-wing outrage. One of her posts last year showed an edited video of a critical of public school librarian in Tulsa, led to several consecutive delays of bomb threats to the school district. In 2022, medical providers at Children's National Hospital in Washington became the first large targets of social media campaigns and harassing U.S. hospitals after the post uploads to TikTok. Again, that was a hit piece by the Associated Press. And then go to USspending.gov. Let's see, how much did they give the Associated Press? $613,968. Wow. Over $500,000 our tax dollars went to the Associated Press. Yeah, seems like BS to me. I mean, I swear, of every dollar the U.S. government steals from us via taxes, and I mean, how many do we have these days? Income tax, sales tax, property tax, alcohol tax, tobacco tax, gasoline tax, telecommunications tax, water tax, estate tax, capital gains tax. I mean, Jesus, of every dollar they steal from us, how many of it actually goes back to a direct benefit to us? Like 2 cents at most? Like, it is criminal. And yes, I do understand some of the taxes I noted are on a state level, which some states are better than others. Now, this went pretty viral. Got 2.1 million views, as well as 78,000 likes. One of the first comments comes from the OG himself, Elon Musk, saying simply 100%, getting 6,000 likes. Nick Sorter says, does Associated Press have any proof that your post led to consecutive days of bomb threats? You might have to sue them into the Stone Age, getting 3,000 likes. There's a TikTok respondent saying maybe, getting 1.2 thousand likes. Let's see. Democrat Media TM says, quote, in 2024, Biden gave the New York Times $4 million, gave 1.2 thousand likes. Jeez Louise. I always wondered how these old, decrepit, useless media outlets are staying in business when, again, you read the news, they lose subscribers every single day, and yet somehow they still exist. Yeah, the Democrat Media TM also says what? Or sorry, yup. And now it's time to destroy legacy media by cutting off their aid. We'll destroy them, getting 128 likes, which, yeah, now it would be interesting too. We'll see if we can maybe dive into the data and analytics of what percentage of all these mainstream media's income comes directly from the government themselves. I mean, do you know anyone in your circle of friends who pays for like CNN or like the New York Times or Associated Press? Like, I'll check out their websites to see what's on there just to gain some, different perspective and see what they're up to. But I mean, that's free, just clicking their website. Do you know anyone who pays for that stuff? Now, you also have Cash Lauren simply says, this is a scary thought, getting 16 likes. Planet of Memes, disappointing. They did not, in fact, have MMA. They simply said, yep, getting 12 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Getting 76 likes. World Hall of Fame says, holy crap. And it's a picture of loudspeakers. It says, in North Korea, people are forced to listen to propaganda. And then there's a juxtaposition of the United States, a television screen that has images or logos of NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC. It says, in the US, people doing it willingly, getting 382 likes. Dean Doreen says, quote, remember, President Trump calls them the fake news, which, fact check, true, getting 124 likes. So yeah, we'll see how much more corruption Elon and Doge, Department of Government Efficiency gets. And hopefully we'll be able to see more and more of the corruption and curtail the spending. And maybe someday in our lifetime, we'll actually work on the federal deficit. Again, thanks to the ineptitudes and corruption of our politicians, left and right with rhinos. Well, it's up to past $36.5 trillion in debt. We spend more on the interest rate, just on the interest, than defense. That's insane. So hopefully we'll actually get our spending under control. And maybe someday in our lifetime, you'll actually get spending dollars of your tax dollars to actually improve your life. Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe some of your local schools got fixed. Maybe some of your local roads got fixed. Be kind of nice, right? Maybe, perhaps I'm foolishly optimistic or hopelessly optimistic, but I mean, hopefully that'll happen someday in our life. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Jeep owners irate because their infotainment screen keeps having pop-ups reminding them to buy an extended warranty, which, yeah, probably not the nicest thing to see when you're turning on your vehicle and trying to use it. Now, this comes to us thanks to thedrive.com, specifically credited to Caleb Jacobs, who's the writer there, in which he says, quote, Jeep is spamming drivers with extended warranty ads through the Info Connect system. Owners are reporting pop-up telling them to purchase peace of mind keeps reappearing even when their trucks are past the warranty's mileage limit. Really? There you can see, oh, I'm sorry. The infotainment is just so viscerally poorly designed. Although, I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences. The temperature control units are both set to both passenger and driver to be 69 degrees, which that getting me laughed at. I'm not going to lie there. That's a little funny. Now, the pop-up specifically says, purchase peace of mind. They say, quote, Mopar Vehicle Protection Maximum Care plans are factory-backed and offer peace of mind in case of mechanical breakdown. Should probably change the vernacular when mechanical breakdown inevitably happens. Press the call button to speak with a specialist. Odometer must be less than 36,000 miles to purchase. Which, I mean, that's just even more of a scam because statistically speaking, like, again, I'm not advocating buying extended warranties or darn near anything except maybe a Bugatti. Like, it's one of the things where, yeah, you really you don't really need it less than 36,000 miles. A good car company has a good factory warranty. I think to date, the best industry is still Hyundai Kia with a 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. I believe Honda is 3-year, 30 or 40,000 mile. I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, you're buying an extended car warranty. Now, it is kind of funny because of all the vehicles where I would actually recommend buying an extended car warranty, it would be the Jeep. I mean, the Wrangler. I mean, when you look at all the unreliability reports, the Jeep is one of the most unreliable vehicles on the road, bar none. which, giving them credit where credit is due, they have one of the best cultures around their vehicle where people love it so much. The off-roading community is so enthralled by the experience of that vehicle that they still buy it in spite of knowing that it is the most unreliable thing out there. I mean, the only thing that might be more unreliable than that would be like a Range Rover or something made by Ford or something like that. And yet people still buy the Jeeps. So it is kind of funny, of all the times where I would think, okay, maybe you should get extended warranty. This would be one of them. But again, you're still pissing off customers. And especially, again, when it's a new vehicle, you should have a pretty darn good standard factory warranty. Now, they go into the article, they say, quote, automakers pitched everyone on connected cars by saying that they'd be better to use and own. No. Get over-the-air updates instead of going to the dealer, they hoped. Lock your car from anywhere with your phone, they hollered. But as we've learned with everything from smartwatches to smart TVs, connectivity often benefits corporations more than consumers. That's why I have a tube TV from the 80s, and the only thing my quote-unquote smartwatch does is notifications in terms of text and email, but I digress myself. Now they say, quote, I mean, how else could a company hound you about your car's extended warranty? You still haven't answered all those calls that you get every day, which, what's your favorite car to mess with in terms of when they call you? I'm in sales, so if someone calls and has an articulate message, like they know my name, my company, which they should because it's tied to my number. But yeah, if they don't know my name and they're too lazy to do the 18 seconds of research to do that, prepare for the cold call, I don't feel too guilty messing with them. Again, if you did your research, I'll respect you. I'll listen to your pitch because I'm still sales and I'm still a business owner. So like I'll say, hey, this is a good pitch. We'll schedule a time. But like if they just call me and it's like, oh yeah, I want to send your car's warranty. It's like, first of all, I have a Honda Civic. I mean, I don't need an extended warranty. It's pretty darn bulletproof to begin with. So I usually like to say, oh yeah, what kind of car do you have? And they go, oh yeah, I'd be interested in extended car warranty. Do you cover a 1936 Duesenberg? I just come up with random vehicles really just to kind of mess with them a little bit. And again, it's a scam, so I don't feel guilty messing with them. But yeah, do you have a vehicle that you go to like when they want to scam you for the extended warranty that you say that isn't really your vehicle? I mean, it's one of those things I'll ask them like, will it cover the phalange? They go, oh yeah, well, I won't do the accent, but like, let's say it'll cover your powertrain and everything. I'm like, well, it'll cover the phalange though. I've had some issues with that. Sometimes when I'm running over things or, obstacles, it'll pop off. Sometimes you need to pop it right back in there. We'll cover the phalange. We'll cover the flux capacitor. There's only 3 left in the US. It's really hard to find. Like, maybe not the most mature thing I do. I'll be honest. But if I'm driving somewhere and I get windshield time, yeah, sometimes I'll play around with them a little bit. Now they say, quote, that's the gripe of one Jeep owner who says their 2022 Grand Cherokee, the Elizabeth Warren edition, won't stop serving them pop-up ads in the car's infotainment system. They posted a photo of the in-cabin alert on Reddit that urges them to purchase peace of mind by snagging FlexCarry Extended Car Premium Plan, which, I mean, if you want to purchase peace of mind, buy Honda. You don't buy Jeep. And there you can see there, right on their Reddit page. Now, yeah, I don't know, something about those infotainment systems just seem low quality as well. They say, quote, now it would be one of the things if there's a singular occurrence, but this owner says it covers, quote, the entire screen every time you stop, even if you hit OK. Oh my God, I'd rip that POS out of there. Again, I'm not a fan of all the widgets, and all the fancy crap they put in cars these days to begin with. And I hate how, especially the Chrysler Stellantis products, it's almost an abomination to the automobile industry. They put the heated seats option in the infotainment screen, so you gotta click like 4 or 5 buttons to get to that. So I like my Honda. Some buttons should be physical. Just slam that heated seats button, you're good to go. Now, they say that, quote, I hit 36,000 miles last week. It started coming up yesterday. Even if the person caved into the car's repeated request, they wouldn't qualify for the service being offered. Yeah, they know, again, the factory knows that if it's beyond 36,000 miles, it's probably already 58% rust by, composition of material and already on its way to die. They say if the car was smart, surely it would know how many miles are on the odometer. This makes it even more frustrating than the people who just want to be left alone. They say, for what it's worth, this isn't the first time a Jeep owner has raised the issue. The first example where I could find were on Wranglers and Gladiators from 2 years ago, and people were upset about it then. Jeep still continues its practice to this day. Interestingly, someone by the name of Rara, that's a unique name, Rara Rasputin, says they've owned a 2022 Grand Cherokee since new, and it's only now showing up the message. They say these pop-ups can supposedly be disabled if you go to the Jeep Connect website. That's BS. You have to go to a website to disable that, apparently. The owner has to create an account there, which I did see what it involves. I only had to provide my email and create a password, as well as acknowledge that not autonomous at all. The not ominous at all disclosure at the bottom of the screen. They say from there you can link your car via the account VIN. I don't own a Jeep, so I couldn't follow the next step. You can manage all sorts of stuff there. Jeep Connect, including simple features like remote start, more advanced subscription features such as dynamic range navigation that maps routes best suited for your car's fuel efficiency. Yeah, because no one else has Google Apps or Waze. Ridiculous. In order to disable the pop-ups like the one you see here, you have to click through a series of menus to toggle off the in-vehicle notifications. Pretty lame, especially when you aren't using and owning a vehicle. Owning a vehicle that knows which coffee shop you visit for a little treat every Wednesday. They say, quote, I guess this is what we get for embracing modernity, or at least this is what we're signed up for business for, that value our business with microtransactions more than providing a decent user experience. Now, it's also Jeep Stellantis product when it comes to, an actual good user experience. I don't think they've had that in decades. I mean, when did they stop making the iconic Dodge Viper, which, at least that vehicle, tell you about beautiful hand-engineered, glorious V10 with a stick shift only. That is pure masculine. That's pure America. Which, if you don't know that, that grunting reference, I'll die a little bit inside. Let me know in the comments if you actually know what I'm referencing. But yeah, as if people needed yet another reason not to buy a Stellantis product. Oh my gosh, this would make me so irate. I would just pull the fuse and disable the whole infotainment system. That's when it comes to a lot of vehicles. I kind of think they peaked around 2008, 2009. It's like, I would love one of those Porsche Caymans there. You got heated seats, got stick shift. What else do you really need? It's like maybe Google Maps. Maybe that'd be kind of nice. Or Waze. But all this extra crap just makes me have a disdain for many modern vehicles. And yeah, hopefully there's so much visceral pushback they disable this, but I kind of doubt it. But yeah, Jeep, you already make unreliable products, and now you're making it more of a pain in the rear to own them. I don't know who's in charge of this, but hopefully they end this ridiculous pop-up. I'm surprised. That is just so stupid to have a pop-up and for extended car warranty. So I gotta say, Jeep and Stellantis, your silly pop-ups and your glorified spam and scam, I gotta say that it's certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. I'm also planning my first live stream, probably going to be Saturday night, I believe February 22nd. So if you've got any questions and maybe I can provide some answers, that'd be a fun little outing there. I'll post the time up once I get that locked in place. And lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, to anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.